What's up, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to On the Topic Of, where I choose a topic that's been in the gaming industry spotlight in the past week, and I kind of give my thoughts and opinions on it and talk about it for a minute or two. And this week I want to talk about the return of PlayStation Underground, which is pretty interesting, and I also want to kind of talk about content that is produced directly from a company and how that ends up actually kind of hurting that content in the long run. Bear with me here, we'll get into it. So, PlayStation Underground, if you are like me and you were very young whenever this was happening, is a magazine/disc distribution service that happened in the late 90s and early 2000s from Sony Entertainment America. And in this little packet, you would get a magazine as well as a disc, and on that disc there were demos, dev interviews, different kinds of media that were giving information on the games that were coming out at that time. If you're like me, I used to play jam packs a lot, which were basically demo discs with a couple of different demos. There was a fall one, a winter one, for different kinds of years, and they were really cool. I remember playing the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 demo. It was 10 minutes was allotted, and you had one map that you could play on or one area you could explore, and you could have had 10 minutes to fully explore that map and accomplish everything there was to accomplish in it, and I would play that over and over again. It was a huge part of my childhood and something that I really enjoyed, and one of the defining memories in my gaming life. So, now that we are all caught up on what that is, Sony wants to bring that back in the form of a kind of refurbished or renewed PlayStation Underground, in which Ryan Clements, a guy from Sony, along with two other guys from Sony, hosts this show that has a guest on, and they talk about a game that's coming out. This past week it was a Harmonix rhythm game that's coming out that originally was released back whenever, in the late 90s, early 2000s, whenever this actual PlayStation Underground thing was first kicking off. I can't remember what the name of the game was. It starts with an A. I don't know. But it looked interesting, and the show was about, if I remember correctly, about 23 minutes long, I think. And it was all around pretty interesting. However, it suffers from the same ailment that the PlayStation Blogcast does. And if you don't know what the PlayStation Blogcast is, it's an official podcast that comes to us from the guys over at Sony, and all in all, it's pretty informative, pretty interesting, and it's worth giving a listen to. But where these two things fall short is that it feels very censored. It feels almost like propaganda from Sony. And if you've been following my YouTube channel for a while, you'll know that I'm a pretty big Sony fanboy. If I had to choose a console, I would choose a PlayStation 4. I have an Xbox One. It's great for Twitch streaming. And Halo and Gears of War is coming out on it this year. I can't wait for all of these things. Halo 5 coming out October 27th. That's great. But at the end of the day, I'm going to choose the PlayStation 4. I just think that Sony makes better products, and I like the way that they treat their customers. That being said, I don't like it whenever their content is being shoved down my throat when I'm just trying to stay informed about what's going on in the gaming industry. So, when I'm listening to the blogcast, it feels like it's very censored. It feels like the hosts aren't saying everything that they want to, and I was getting that feel from PlayStation Underground. But on the Xbox side of things, they do the same thing with Xbox Wire. Major Nelson is pretty much the end-all be-all demigod amongst the Xbox players, and he's a pretty cool guy. However, at the end of the day, I would rather be listening to stuff like Giant Bombcast, Rooster Teeth Podcast, Funhouse, which I'm listening to right here. As you can see, I've got Google Chromecast playing over here on my TV, and I just feel like if Sony and Xbox, specifically talking about Sony, if Sony wants PlayStation Underground to succeed in today's day and age, they're going to have to give Ryan Clements and the host a couple of more inches of leeway on the leash. You know what I'm saying? They've got to be able to say some stuff that might hurt the game in the long run, but that viewers are going to want to see, because in the long run, you're not only wanting to sell games, but if you really want PlayStation Underground to succeed, you're going to have to let the host do a little bit of something that is, you know, maybe a little bit controversial, maybe might get some attention from the media, but in the end, that's going to be a good thing. So there you guys have it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, drop me a like down below and comment what you think about the return of PlayStation Underground, as well as what podcast you listen to, if any. Do you think that they should kind of give these guys a little bit more leash, let them do a little bit more exploration kind of things? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you are new to the channel or you've never seen my channel before, head over and check out some of those other videos that I do. I upload new stuff like 4 or 5 days a week, depending on the week, so there's always something new to check out. And as always, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.